All right, let's go to this is to prove Kelly's point. Kelly has just suggested that even if it's the case that Donald Trump has a more palatable view of intervention than, say, someone like Hillary Clinton, one thing is clear. Donald Trump has no idea what he's talking about. And this question about nuclear proliferation from Hugh Hewitt, there is basically a long-standing U.S. Doctrine, I guess you could say, or strategic doctrine on the use of nuclear weapons, that there are three elements: by sea, by land, or by air. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff.
Doesn't take a genius to figure this out.
Right. But, do you deliver these nukes via a submarine? Do you deliver it by intercontinental missiles? Or do you deliver it by large planes, let's say? And at any given time through our, the past 60 or 70 years, there have been different theories as to what is strategically the best way to deliver these nuclear weapons. So Hugh Hewitt trying to prove that Donald Trump is not able to be presidential material brings this up without realizing that no one in the Republican Party gives a crap about policy competence. It just is a fig leaf that people are just not buying. And but here's Donald Trump doing his best to avoid answering the question directly. Count how many different things he brings up that are not with what he's talking about. In fact, I'll ding my cup every time there's something that has absolutely nothing to do with what the question was. Okay, play this.
Mr. Trump, Dr. Carson just referenced the single most important job of the president, the command, the control, and the care of our nuclear forces. And he mentioned the Triad. The B-52s are older than I am. The missiles are old. The submarines are aging out. It's an executive order. It's a commander-in-chief decision. What's your priority among our nuclear triad?
Well, first of all, I think we need somebody absolutely that we can trust, who's totally responsible, who really knows what he or she is doing. That is so powerful and so important. And one of the things that I'm frankly most proud of is that in 2003, 2004, I was totally against going into Iraq because you're going to destabilize the Middle East. I called it very strongly, and it was very important. But we have to be extremely vigilant and extremely careful when it comes to nuclear. Nuclear changes the whole ballgame. Frankly, I would have said, get out of Syria, get out. If we didn't have the power of weaponry today, the power is so massive that we can't just leave areas that 50 years ago or 75 years ago, we wouldn't care. It was hand-to-hand combat. The biggest problem this world has today is not President Obama with global warming, which is inconceivable. This is what he's saying. The biggest problem we have today is nuclear proliferation, and having some maniac, having some madman go out and get a nuclear weapon. That's, in my opinion, that is the single biggest problem that our country faces.
Of the three legs of the triad, though, do you have a priority? Because I want to go to Senator Rubio after that. And
I think to me, nuclear is just the power, the devastation is very important to me.
So there you have it. So listen, folks, take that, study that tape. If you're ever on a job interview and you have no idea how to answer, Donald Trump just gave you the perfect game plan. You just got to hope that you only have 2 minutes to answer the question. In fact, what you should do is say, you know what? That's a great question. Do you have an egg timer? Just give me 2 minutes. Let me have 2 minutes. That way you can run the clock out. And
I thought that was actually more of a I haven't done the reading type of thing. You know, it's just like, oh, the chapter, you ask. Well, right. Indeed, the
Mr.
Iliad
Ceder,
is a rather
could you please tell us?
serious book of great import to the Greeks, among others. This is a book we read.
Books are very, very important for people. First off, they read them. It is also a way in which people learn things.
But yeah, no question. The Iliad, huge book. Big deal.
Oh.
Bottom line, reading the Iliad, good.
And then Rubio rushes in like, looking at our B-52 bombers, they are 50 years old. In fact, our nuclear submarines, the capacity that we have from our nuclear class submarines.
And then what do? We go, ooh, look at the brains on Marco. You a smart motherfucker, Marco. Would you care for some of my Sprite to wash down your cotton mouth?